Hello. How's it going? Stream is sponsored by 7 Up. Everything looking okay? Hear the background music at all? A couple more minutes come. You want to? Barely hear the background music. Video and your sound is good. Well, let's see if we can boost the music just a bit. How's that? Oh, it just turned off. The song just turned off, so. Yeah, well. Hopefully the music helps moments when I can't think straight. Quiet anyways. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll start. That's a real heavy plan today. Kind of works through a little feature that feature request that we had. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of build that out on a stream. Guess what we're building is that in Nova you can have like these things called actions that you can run across all your resources or a single resource, and it lets you do arbitrate things, you know, like you can update columns, fire off queue jobs, that kind of thing. And people kind of want to have the ability to customize the response. So let's say like you're generating an API token for the user, you might want to show that API key in a modal after it's done. That way you could copy and paste it to the user or send it to your boss or something like that. That's kind of what we're going to build today. I don't have anything planned. I don't have like this is not pre-done or anything, so we're just going to kind of hack at it. The only thing I have really done is that I've got a seeder where I have a fresh install of Nova, and I've got a user seeded in there. Basically going from there. So first thing we can do, I guess, get our watcher going. Oh, I guess I should actually go over. Here we go. All right. Nice. All right. So working cool here. We got the fresh development dependencies working. What do we need to do first? Well, we need to have an action that we can start making these modals for, so we can do like art, Nova, action, generate API key or API token. That'll generate the action class for us. Over to our test project here, and we've got app, Nova, actions, generate API token. And then we'll apply this to the user model or the user resource at our Nova project. See that we've got an empty array here. Find the action to this user resource. That should get it to show up in the UI when we select a user. And it'll pass by default because it doesn't do anything. But yeah, what we want to do is basically when you select this and run this, you'll get like this kind of modal after you run the action that's like, you know, lets you load it in a component, a view component of your own. So you can have a copy and paste, or you can just show a message to the user or something like that. I guess we need to make this action actually work. Models. So we want this to only run on one model, because if it runs on multiple, you can't show multiple modals that way. So we kind of need to check if there's more than one model. We'll just return an action. Run this only one. Sure. Oh, it's danger. That's the method. So if we come here and create another user, select all those users and run the action, we try to generate the API token. Yeah, we get an error. Whoops, I just clicked it away. Please run this only on only one user resource. All right, so that works. We do get a single user, so we'll just go models each, even though we're only getting one model. Update that model API token column. Do something like string random. Import that. And strangely enough, and I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but if we run this now, even though this user database, the database doesn't have that column, it's still going to pass. So basically what we'll need to do is update our users table to have new API token column. Oh yeah, and that column will have to be nullable, because some users don't get an API token. We're gonna have to explicitly assign them. So don't want that to fail. Reseed. Oops. And just so that we have visual on that API token working, let's add another text field on the Nova resource. You can see it's blank now. If we add it, excuse me, generate this, it's still not going to work. The reason being that the user model itself doesn't have the API token that's fillable. Now it works. What would be cool What we're trying to do today is be able to show this to the user, and the user's, like an admin's custom defined component that lets them display that to the user with maybe a little message or something. So I haven't really thought through the API on how we're going to do this, but kind of what we want to do really is when that works normally, and I type the R. Normally when you do an action, you can do like action message, like we did on line 27, action danger. You can say action message. The API token was generated. If we generate that token, that message will show up after it generated. Yep. API token was generated. That's cool. Cool, but what if I'm just kind of eyeballing here? What if it feels like modal, action modal? We were able to give it arbitrary data. Maybe it's a component. Action response modal. Some sort of like custom modal defined in their project. Component with message, and then yeah, the API token itself. We could do like this. That'd be kind of cool. So let's see how this works before. Oh, we already have it. Message data component. Do like component. The best API. We just had like a component and its data. Modal and data. Yeah. An action modal, that key, the component name, and the data that we're going to pass to that component is a message and a token. And this would be user customizable. They could pass any data they want to the view component that they're going to have. So for kicks and giggles, let's kind of look and make sure that's coming back. Yep, we're getting the modal data. Now, I believe it's a handles action. Yep, handle action response. After we execute an action, we hit the endpoint, and then we have this handle action response method that handles the response that comes from the the server. And see, this is basically needs bad refactoring because it checks the data, checks different properties on the data object that comes back. If it's a component, so this component, and this is actually a way you can do a custom modal yourself. Oh, hey Hemp, what's tunes you got playing? I've got on YouTube, there's a Blockbuster, no copyright lo-fi. Yeah, it's in the channel comes from Stomp's playlist. Let's see. I thought they were the same link. All right, let me tweet this new link. Oh, thank you, Martin. Okay, some wanted this playlist link. Let me just send this off to the chat. Here's the tunes. All right, so yeah, in this handle action response, we check a bunch of things, and I think this is where I started messing around with it yesterday. We just had like this, if there's a message, we'll just fire off a toast message. Hey, how you doing? Sorry guys for sending out the wrong link. Got a message in the component. We send out the message. If you deleted something, then, or if you return an action deleted or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, return a deleted response. It'll just emit that, which causes the index view to reload and then the metrics to reload. You have an danger, it'll send like basically an error message. If there's a download, it'll make the download link and click it. There's a redirect, it'll redirect it, or we can also push via the router, the view router instance. Opens a new tab. Yeah, so basically we just need to check if there's a component or a modal option here. So We could probably refactor this some other time, but the modal, if there's a modal, probably need to emit all these. But then what should we do? Do something like just for, we're just kind of scabbing it in right now. We can do like show modal, action response modal. Show action response modal equals true. To see all of the components that use that action selector. So that'll, once we execute the action, it'll set that to true, and hopefully we'll show the modal. We may not show it from here. We'll see what happens, but for now, let's just kind of try to get a basic modal showing. So we're going to create a new component. Bottom search bar. Like this, I'm just doing Command Shift F. Oh, the keyboard. You want to see the keyboard? The OBS over here. There we go. The desk cam. We went real basic today. We're just using a 60% tofu keyboard. Boring old mouse. I didn't clean up the desk, guys. Got my like Dyson heater controller and some candy and action selector has, that uses the handles action mix in, which is going to handle what happens after the action is ran. Need a new component. Let's just have this modals. Let's just put one here. But the idea is that eventually it'll be a custom modal that the user will have specified. Action response modal. Modal. Let's just like copy something somewhere else. Oof. My favorite placeholder word is always woo, so we probably won't need any of this stuff, but have to register this in the components. Those components. That should register it, and with any luck, it'll start like display right away. Check the comments here. And it doesn't. Funnily enough. Not find component action response modal. Oh, it's because it's in the modals namespace. Is it showing? Let's see. No dev tools. Oh, I know. So this handles action mixin actually is part of our JavaScript package, Nova.js. And anytime I work on it locally, I have to link it with the Nova code itself. Drake, stop looking here. Not quite. So we need to yarn link this. All right, so link. I need to get on or how to the yarn link. The links are registered in config yarn link. All right, so move. Oh, duh. Just linked. Now let's go to Nova folder, yarn link, Laravel Nova. Oops. So now that's using our development version of Nova's JavaScript. And that takes a while. This dependency was not found. Gotta love NPM errors. Let's try. Weird. What am I doing, guys? What's wrong here? Okay, so if we go into Nova.js, we don't have any all here. Here, let's try this. No dependencies, right? Richard says remove RMRF node modules. That always works. It does seem to work a lot. Oops, let's go back in the Nova folder. Wrong one. Iron link, Laravel Nova. Spell it again. There. All right. Now I believe this should work. Oh, the J alias is auto jump. Basically, it kind of learns. Yeah, that worked. it learns different folders on your that you go to a lot. So like the Nova site, I can just type Nova site and it goes there, or Nova, which is the Nova code itself. Any different kind of projects I have. Yeah, it's really handy. Even like Nuno says we're using npm here. It's as fast as Yarn now. You know what? I've kind of thought about moving back to npm. I'm just so used to Yarn right now. Seems to be working. Let's check it out. We did have a modal at some point. We don't have any errors. Oh, because the action response modal, or the action selector's on. There it is, right there. What do we need to do next? We'll close. Or woo right here working. Good stuff. Barely need form. I'll just make this a div. Get this going. Reason that didn't work. No longer seeing the modal. Oh, because we're not. Selector has show action modal false, so we need to set that to true after it runs. It returns with handle action response. Returns with component or with the modal key. True. This show action response modal equals true. We're doing that here. Undefined. Oh, because it's in the props. Sweet. So let's make it a data property. Whoops. And but it's selector shown. Oh, that's because the action selector actually gets hidden. should not admit this yet. Run the action and make sure that this is actually the branch that we're firing off here. Oh, there's a message in that action. Let's just see. There it is. Cool. Oh, this has not been catching up. We're getting a modal showing, and we can make this modal show whatever we want. But for now, let's just like put it in inside it like a text field. He's got to be interpolated as a variable. And I made an error. Data is not defined on the instance. True, it's not defined on this instance, so when we need to pass that data from here to the action selector, then get it to show the modal response. Instead of us actually handle actions is on the action selector, so the best way to send this data up. We could say we'll just set it directly. So like action response. My typing's garbage. Action response data equals data dot pass that data in here. Try that out. Action response nodal got attributes, but they're not. Oh, it's not a prop. I hope I'm not like spoiling anybody's opinion of me, because I'm definitely not a smart person. And this is how this is literally how I go about making features on stuff. I'm not very smart. My biggest strength, I think, is that I'm persistent. I just don't stop. Okay, so we are getting the data to the modal now. Try to like clean this up a bit. It looks bad. For things like this, I like to kind of like stub out the data so that I can work on it. Find another piece of text. Fill its classes. Whoops. Kind of super, kind of getting there. Doesn't close. That's not good. Modal close is even getting called. Getting called, but it's not closing. Not handle event. So action rows like here, the close confirmation modal. We need to basically handle our own event here. Close action response modal. So let's find the close actions, close confirmation modal. Let's do close action response modal. All these have a doc block. We'll do that too. The songs, we lost the tunes. They're there. Closing the action response modal. When this is opened, you click away or the escape, you know. Close the modal. Get rid of that alert. Cool. Make that look better. Like I said, when I'm designing stuff, I like to kind of stub out the data to be work for me. That I can design a little easier. It looks like we don't need this wrapper. quick enough. Here we go. And the idea I'm going to have is like create a little button. I'll let you copy it to the clipboard. Grab a button from somewhere. See what we got. Cool. Let's add a border to this. Border, and then border. I think it's border 40 that we normally use. Maybe we'll create a shadow. Figure out what's going on here visually. Oh well. Probably need to create this an outer container. Yeah, that's kind of what we want to do. And we'll do rounded. So it's hidden. Looks like we don't have a button this kind of size, so might be able to do some of these styles from TN default. Styles. Rounded large because we don't need it. Too fast. Fast for that. Yeah, that's kind of what we're going for. Border a little darker. Yeah, I'm too fast for my build tool. Sorry. Dog's barking. Put in the crate for this while the wife is out. Can you hear that? Now we don't need the border on this. We're selecting it. Or we can do outline none. Modal kind of needs to be a little bit wider. But I think we have sizes too in the modal. Or that we can say on the modal itself, like we can specify the size. Yeah, it's a little bit wider now. Okay. So then we'll make the input flex grow. So flex 1, I think it is, tailwind. And we'll set the button to flex no shrink. Or can't remember what it is on this version of tailwind, so I have to pretend we know. Yeah, that seems to work. People will be able to click this button, be able to select this. Dog's being too loud, man. We probably want to add a little bit of padding on the bottom. In this case, we can do like MB8. That way the bottom of the modal isn't weird like this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Here's the API token for the user. Now let's set that back to block. Turn modal response for the action. You can make some sort of variable text. Well, what will you show when multiple users are selected to run the action? Well, when multiple people try to select the action, the modal won't show up actually right away. We just got this in here right now because we're kind of designing everything. But normally this will be instantiated like this, action response data. So it'll be like this. It'll select it, generate API token, and it'll be like, you sure you want to do this? And it'll copy it. But if there's more than one user, they'll get an error message. So like, I'll add my wife in here. This is not her real email address. The user selects multiple. This is going to error out. I think there's ways we can make that better for sure. Like pre-roll rules or something like that. But we just don't have it yet. Like what I want to do probably in the next series of Nova is just when So like in the current version of Nova, the actions when you load the page are already loaded in. So we already know what the fields are going to be. And there's no real connection with like what resources are selected. So in the next series of Nova, what I want to do is like you select some users and we show the action. Right here, we do a network request to find out what the fields should be. So like we could pass in all of these IDs to the field endpoint. And you know, you could show like conditional fields or maybe multiple fields for each, like show each user like their own fields. So you could edit test impls, whatever API token or David Himple's API token fields all on the same modal. Pretty cool. And then we could do like pre-checks. Like if you had these two selected and then you did this and it passed in more than one ID, and that was not something that you could do on that action modal, you could just return an error when you hit play. You can't run this on multiple. That'd be a little bit nicer. Working. Other than that, we haven't actually implemented copying of the modal is not really the most important part, but the fact that people could specify their own. So now we kind of need to make it dynamic. I'm trying to remember what the way that you just create arbitrary view components in Nova is. Tools, assets, asset. Oops, wrong one. We need that running still, please. And then we're like artisan Nova asset imp / API token copier. Yep, what's all the dependencies? Now 3 years later, that's done. How's it going? Y'all up to today? That's good. Tell me. Head on right now, actually. Quicker snails, but great, but so slow. Yeah, it's slow. It's really slow right now that I'm streaming for some reason. Now's a good time to stretch out, flex your muscles, see what's going on outside. Yeah, it's literally still installing. These headphones, these are just cheap mono price in-ears. They're the ones that had the longest cord for this. I don't have my extension cord. I don't know where it is. My headphone extension. Normally I'm been working on using the Apple AirPods Max. Those are my dailies. In-ears are kind of like, they kind of hurt my ears when I keep them in too long. This is really taking forever. Gotta love it. Really never taken this long before. Yep. He says, yeah, I've got AirPods in now, and I have some Shure in-ears for gigging. I have some Shure in-ears too, somewhere in the mountain of guitar gear. What can we do right now? Do we have anything generated? Well, the components are generated, so look at the asset provider here. We have a styles sheet and a script. Okay, so this doesn't actually give us the Nova stuff. The Nova view component stuff. Which is kind of sad. Sad panda. Let's try, we can look in the stubs. Get it. I know it's like Nova.booted. Whoops. Nova. What are you doing? Get a callback. Say doc. And the autocomplete is just like aggressive. View component, so we call that BI token copier. I think view is the first argument that gets passed. Good grief, I think something just failed. Use yarn. Seems to work more reliably right now. Go look over on the GitHub the stubs and see what it is. I don't remember exactly which one it is. Asset stubs, the one we just used, right? Theme stubs, tool stubs. That has a component. Tool. Yeah. Oh, it's waiting for node stats to build. You know how it is. I'm not even going to use node here. Node sass. Get rid of it. Oh, still have to because I have Laravel mix. So, oops. We do. Since we don't actually need this action response modal anymore, we can just remove it. It was good for subbing out what we needed. Response. Actually, we'll change. We'll send this whole here. We'll put it in our new components. We know there'll at least be a JS components folder. API token copier. That means we delete that new Not building any SaaS. Sounds like waiting on an elevator with this music in mode. I wish elevator music was this good. I guess we can take a look at the code, see what we've done so far. Oh, there it was. Okay, so what have we done so far? We've made sure the user can have an API token. We've made an action that generates an API token. There's only one user it's ran against. We've added the field to the Nova resource. Nope, we've got double components here. That's not good for us. And what are we waiting on? They don't even tell us what we're waiting on here. Added the API token column. Got a whole bunch of component dependencies. All of the compiled assets. Wow, I've had Node take a long time, but it's never taken this long. It's literally sabotaging the stream, right? Like somebody at NPM is just waiting on my username to like download dependencies and they're hitting pause. See if we can write any tests around this. I don't know if we have any tests around this kind of thing. Show me your desktop, your essential apps. Me, okay. Play that. Trying to dox me, Nuno. My desktop right now. I just grabbed this off the thing so I can make my little stream images. Oh, it's done. Sweet. Essential apps. Oh. Doc, I've got Valet Lite. Still pending release. Love it. Love this app. What else we got? Visual Studio Code, Chrome, Term. Got Stream, like chat and stuff like that running in a Safari window. OBS is running right now, and GitHub Desktop. Pretty much all I use. All right, so now that we can actually run this, start watching it. Okay, yeah, token copier not found. We could fix that. The SAS folder. Standard dev tools. Yep. Oh, actually, we need to go into components and cool. All right. Now that we've labeled this component API token copier, that's what we can return from our action. From our generate API token, the API token copier. Whoop. Hopefully, it'll basically show up the same way when we run it. It doesn't, which is not a surprise. I just can't get away from iTerm to use VS Code terminal. So iTerm it is. I use both. Action response modal. Unknown custom element. Well, that's because we need to specify in the action selector what this component is. Component. It's going to be a user passed component. And we're going to say action response data. Component. Point it. I think that's right. Hi Vince, how you doing, man? He says, by the way, love Nova, not really used it since its first release, but used in the past month and it blows me away. Thank you, that's so nice to say. We've made a lot of improvements on it. I'm really happy that everybody's gotten the updates. All of the licenses have received all of the updates, which is, I mean, it's just crazy. So appreciate everybody supporting Nova, allowing me to work on it full time. Martin says, Lee, can't you use iTerm within VS Code? I can set up iTerm in my PHP store. I don't know. That'd be cool. Vince, good. Excited to see you streaming. Thank you. Had a rough time here for a second with NPM not wanting to play nice, taking forever. Okay, so in our generated API token, we're turning the component, the modal component we want to show, the API token copier. We're passing it this data. We've got a Nova component called the API token copier that we've booted and registered in Nova's booted callback. The data should be assigned correctly. See if I've done it correctly now. Well, says what Vince Mitchell said, you need to stream more Nova, dude. You know what? I wanted to in 2020, but then, you know, that whole year happened. So, you know how it is. I wanted to do this last year, but the whole year took over. We get into it now. We're just going to keep on going. F 2020, exactly. It was a sucky year. It already seems to be a little bit better. So action response, it's not showing up. Let's see why. '2020 sucked. Hope 2021 is better. Me too. I hope it's good for everybody. Action response data. Let's check it out. Oh, component's not in the data. So we need to actually specify the component too. It makes me wonder if we should do like, do we change this to be like, do we change it to just have an array of arguments? That seems grim. Like, I don't really like that. We can't really take advantage of named arguments yet because we support older versions of PHP. That would be, alternatively, in the future, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that works. I don't even know how that works yet, to be honest. Be something like that, right? The hell named arguments work? No, you guys have to tell me. I don't know. Okay, speak. Oh, done and follow the ledge on Twitter. Anyhow, I didn't know what ledge meant, so I just skipped over it. It's UK speak for legend. Who's the legend? Yeah, follow everybody else here in the chat. That'd be cool. I don't know. Action modal. Let's do it this way for now, so that the component is readily available in this data object, and we don't have to have another view instance property, data property. You, David Bill, LOL. Well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate a follow. Appreciate a good follow, guys. Anybody else? So I have to go back into this modal method and turn the component. Actually, we just need to assign the data. I don't know. This is kind of a grim API. Needs some work. We'll go with it for now. Like returning arbitrary data to the front end just seems like a bad idea. That worked. There's let's action selector, response data. Let's just see what happens here. Before we do any of this, let's just console out data. What we get. Nothing. We didn't get anything. Oh, it's no longer a modal property on here, right? So oh, we wrote component. That needs to be modal. That would be confusing, so I don't think we should do. I think we'll just merge this into a final array here. Inside the that seems to work. Okay, so if data is modal, let's set the response data. There's a modal. Inserting. Let's run it and see what comes back. So it will be data.modal. There will be one there. Data.modal. Make sure it's getting in here for some reason. David Bill, do you work full-time on Nova now then? Yes, I do. Occasionally I can work on other stuff, but that's my main focus is keeping Nova forever. Excuse me. What's future plans? Ooh. Cannot confirm nor deny any future plans. But Taylor's already kind of told you that we're going to probably do a new series later this year. We don't have any idea when. We haven't really started it yet, but we've got a lot of cool ideas for that. Cool things we want to do with Nova. You know, things that people ask for. We're considering making a responsive version. What else? Other stuff like that. Ben says, I gotta ask again. Push silver? Oh man, again, that was another 2020 casualty. First part of the year, I wanted to build push silver again and release it open source or something like that. But I didn't get a chance to do that because the year just got too crazy. Martin says, because they're checking data.message first, else. Oh, right. Message is said as well. So we might need to bump that up because that's a special case. It's if you want a partner to work on it with, let me know. Well, if I ever get time to work on it again, definitely consider it. Would love to use inertia. I think that would be perfect for it. Okay, component of define. Okay, so need to go in our action selector here, and it's not component. We're actually pulling the modal property. Generate the API token. Oh, I beat the push bronze. Total of undefined response data. Setting the correct stuff. Response that data. And the action. API token copy. Did you register the component correctly? I think so. Copy here. Copy here. Looks like our never getting loaded. Actually, let's see. Push Silver's why I followed on Twitter way back then. Oh man, you're a real OG. Like the first thing I did ever that I could actually release. Vendor app. Try some really gnarly stuff here. Doesn't even seem to be running. Service provider. Maybe we have to register it, right? It's Mitchell. I thought Ron Dog came first. And actually Push Silver was first by a few years, I think. Maybe at least 2. Let's try registering this. Class. Oh, composer update. We probably didn't composer update, did we? Ask us. Not running, I bet. Cron dog is another thing. The code is so old. But I redid cron dog. Originally, it was done in Spark version 1 or version 2 or something, and I built it again. I built it all again using turbo links and stuff like that. But never got around to releasing that either because I was struggling with the idea of it being a viable business. But I redid it. Oh, the code's so old. I'd be tempted to release it for free, but then the code's so old and it's unfinished. I don't know if people get any value out of it. There we go. Oh, my asset service provider here. I built a whole ticketing system with Nova, but it got too out of hand, and now we're moving all the custom stuff to its own UI. Good. Are you going to use a tool to do your own thing, like keeping it inside Nova still, or are you just going to do your own new admin? Wow, that's 505ing. 500. Contents, rest, Nova components. Asset. Oh, because we don't need that's. No tools, just building a custom interface. That's cool, man. That's actually what kind of like the recommended path in a lot of ways. If it gets so custom that Nova no longer is like being useful in that aspect, then you probably should go custom. One of the ideas we had was to release just basically the outer shell of Nova. And release the outer shell of Nova where you didn't have the resource manager and then make the resource manager the thing you paid for kind of as a module. But you know, you kind of have Jetstream now. That looks really nice. Maybe we just move Nova as a Jetstream module or something. I don't know. Because then we'd have to do inertia and then we'd have to do Livewire versions. And I'm not doing that. I don't have enough people to do that. We could probably do an inertia version. All right, so have that component now registered. Generate the API token, but we're still not seeing our modal. Why not? Nova booted, not a function. Nova is there. Oh, it's booting. Botting. Booting. Yep, Martin. You got me. You got me, Martin. Thanks. Boom. All right, so a person can do a custom tool to create their own modal. Property or method copied isn't defined on instance. Okay, so that's just our custom component that doesn't have that yet. But the user could have like a copied thing when they hit. Stay sharp, man. Always trying to stay sharp. So they could have like a button that says a click handler that's handle click. Might probably want to do prevent. Specify the button as a button. You see me going up and down, scrolling up and down. The streaming software kind of makes a little bit of a delay, so I overshoot it a lot. So click, we can say this copied through. Maybe we could wait. Since I asked Vim, yes, I'm using Vim mode here in VS Code. We'll this.emit close in like 3 seconds or something. That way the user gets the chance to see the message. See if that works. I'm thinking correctly. I click copy, we should see copied, and then it'll disappear at 3 seconds. Yep. Boom. So just for kicks and giggles, let's create another modal component here. Just like call it message. Message modal. Do that again. Message modal. Don't need any of this. Don't need that. Actually, like we can do that. Now I want those buttons back. They like data dot confirmation text. Good to go. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Thank you. We should be wrapping up pretty quick, I think. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. My prettier, not well. Not super important, but we can create just a generic message modal. Register it in here. He says, yeah, I'm out too. Good to see you, man. More, please. Peace and love, everyone. Till next time. Thanks for dropping by, Lee. Have a good day. Message modal. So our token could say we can return a new message modal. And instead of, you know, showing like a toast message, you can just show it here like in a confirmation modal. Message that. We added. We tried to do that now. Generate API token, message modal. Yeah. So basically they have custom modals for their action response. Oh, so where do we go from here? Well, some of the ref points that I saw were generating the asset, because it wasn't clear to me. There was no easy way to create a view component, just a generic view component that gets registered. I may want to visit that, but for that, would it make sense to add a console command that generates a modal asset for them? Well, I don't know. I don't know how much people would use this, because you can already customize the modal itself. So like when you hit this button and it shows this modal, you can already make your own complete different modal and do the action yourself on your own, you know, controllers. We don't have component generator for that. So I don't know, but the feature works. I think that probably would be good. So really appreciate y'all coming, dropping by the stream. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to work on in public, or something you'd like me to see me do. Create a keyboard. I don't know, anything. Martin says more Nova stuff. All right. Well, I think I could do that. Most of the things that we want to work on. Maybe some of even that new stuff, depending on how public we want to be with it. We haven't really quite decided. We like to hide, you know, keep things under our hat, the new stuff under our hat before releasing it. But some of the stuff I think we have planned is going to be pretty exciting. So, anywho, that's it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate y'all. All right, bye.